my friend John Gill. He is the account manager at Premier Elevator and one of my ambassadors, fellow ambassadors here at the Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce. And welcome, John. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Busy, but I'm fine.
Hey, that is a good thing today, isn't it? To be busy. What
Yeah,
a blessing.
it's good. It's good to be an essential business and need to be blessed to be working. And yeah, I'm glad I'm working. Yes.
Awesome. How are you and Janet doing?
We're fine. She's still working for Disney on the phone, and I'm doing my thing with the elevators and surveying jobs and helping people and taking care of clients and just doing my thing. And I'm out every day looking at a job.
That's awesome. And like you said, it is such a blessing to be an essential business during this time, but to be an essential business that's working, because a lot of essential businesses are not seeing a lot of movement right now, especially in the Volusia
Nope.
County area. But at least to be fully working with staff and have things going on, that's awesome. And I'm glad it's happening for you. That's for sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I got a lot of people helping me uh, help them, so that's also a benefit.
And I know that you're saying that from a work perspective, but you're always helping people. I feel like you're I say that you and I are connected and have never been connected because we run around the same communities and we're very active in the Central Florida community until I moved here 2 years
Hmm.
ago. And somehow we've never we have to have been in the same room and never cross paths. Because
True.
when I look at your social media and the places that you're at, I'm like, I used to go to that. Or how did I not get
Yeah.
done?
Yes, you
How did
did.
I not? So people think that I have a crazy schedule. They're like, you have a crazy schedule. And then I look at your social media and I'm like, he's got a crazy schedule. You're busy. You're a
It
busy guy.
it changes every day.
Tell me what your role is as an account manager, because you also do a lot of community stuff. So do all the account managers at Premier Elevator, are they liaisons like you are in the community as well?
I'm the liaison for the Orlando office. So when the job is actually secured, I actually stay in touch with the customer and go see them and send them emails and call them and make sure that we're doing what we say we're going to do when we take it on.
That's awesome. Tell me what Premier Elevator does. What are the services that Premier Elevator offers?
We're a full service maintenance, modernization, repair, and we also have a source where we can actually do cab interiors where we can farm that work out to have the people do the interior of the cab. So there's a lot of hats I wear and a lot of hats that we are involved with. But our bread and butter is our service contracts, and how we do it is we guarantee monthly visits on every job we have. So once we take on a service contract, we are actually going to be there once a month to do service on their elevator. And that's what's separating me from all the four major elevator companies right now out there. They are not able to do that because of how everything they have is structured. It's not any fault of the technicians for the other companies, but the way they're structured right now, they can't do it the way we can.
When you say they can't do it the way that you can, from a service perspective, why is that? Is that just, I mean, what
Because the technicians are getting overloaded with way too many stops to service, so they can't get to them all
ah,
physically.
I see. Now, Premier Elevator is one of the top elevator companies in the Central Florida region, right?
At this point in time, we're really killing it. Yes, we when you Google, let's say somebody's looking for a repair or a service provider, when you Google elevator, we come up either one or two in the state
That's awesome. That's
to
awesome.
contact. Yeah,
Congratulations to you guys. Tell me a little
yeah.
bit about the company as a whole. What's its history? I know today you were
It's
on a call, you said, with your boss, and tell me a little bit about what the work dynamic is there.
we've been around the company's been in business since 1992. They're out of Stockbridge, Georgia. There's four owners that own the company. They have an operations background, so they know what it means to service an elevator and work with sales to make it work together, so that we have a cohesive uh, environment. So service and sales does work together, and that is really important to me, because selling a job and then maintaining a job and then visiting the job, knowing that I have ownership backup, it makes my job a lot easier to take care of my customers
Yeah,
and
and
get new business.
that's something that our industry, I wouldn't say our industry, but our companies have in common, because a lot of times when you see like sales and operations, or sales and production, or sales and maintenance, I mean that's two very different divides, where at Fast Signs, everybody sells, everybody is in customer service, and really we're in the rapport building business. So when a salesperson like you can sell a project, and you know that that maintenance person has the same mentality as you as far as customer service, you know that your customer is getting the same experience from beginning to end. So I think
Hmm.
that's one of the things that separates you guys from the average company. It sets you apart. I mean, that's
Yes.
what makes you the best of the best, right? And
Well,
honestly,
and go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt you.
go ahead. So 92, that's relatively new company, really, when you're thinking about
27,
it.
27 years old,
Yeah,
28.
yeah, that's
So,
great.
but
That's
but they've
awesome.
been doing that. They've been doing the service since 1992 the same way in 92 as they do now. So they haven't changed their philosophy of how it needs to be done, and that's what I love. And the ironic thing is, when I first got in the business 30 years ago, every elevator company did it the way Premier does now. So as time and technology took over, uh, everybody decided to go away from that, saying we don't need to do preventive maintenance as much. We can go less, still charge the same money, but we don't have to go as many times. And we don't believe that. That's why we're winning a lot of work.
That's great. I'm so thrilled that you're busy. I've heard you say it throughout the weeks, just because John and I, we do a lot of networking together. And surprisingly, we hadn't done a one-on-one, um, just because
I
we're
don't think
both
we've never done one. We've
right.
never done one.
We're both extremely busy, but we network a lot together. We're both ambassadors. We're both very active in the Daytona Regional Chamber. So now this
Yep.
opportunity has given us the opportunity to kind of stop and talk a little bit about our businesses. And I'm glad that you jumped on board with me to do this, because I'm a very big fan of yours. And the reason for that, well, there's two reasons. Well, there's a lot of reasons, but one is you're
You're gonna give me a very large
that's
this.
okay. That's okay. You're gonna get home and Janet's gonna be like, listen. But no, listen, I love the fact that you are community focused, and I think that's one of the things that brings us together. That's why when you walk into the room, even if we're not having a one-on-one, we can pass by each other and just, hey, how are you? How are you? You know, because we're
Right.
very active on social media. We follow each other, and we're both passionate about the community. Number
Mm-hmm.
two, um, you're so kind, and everyone knows I'm a big kind. I'm like, I'm all about it. Me and Daniela are our ambassador chair. Like, that's a big thing for me. That's what connects us. And I feel that same way about you. I'm like, wow, he's such a kind person. Like, I've watched, because I'm an observer, I've watched you around the room with other ambassadors, with other chamber members, and you're just a very kind person. Like, you talk to everyone, you treat everybody with respect, and I love that. I love that about you, and I hope that you know that that radiates from across the room.
Oh, well, you reap what you sow. I've learned the hard. You learn that by how you treat people is how you want to be treated, and that's how it works. I grew up that way. That's the way I've grown up. I mean,
Well,
I
I love that. I
respect
love that.
everybody.
And three, because you
No,
sang. At our Christmas party, you sang, and I
that,
didn't think you were going to do it, and I was like, oh my gosh, he really is going to go over there and sing. I don't know who said to you, like, oh, are you going to sing? And you're like,
it was
no,
it was Linda. It was Linda.
oh no, I'm not going to sing. And then you finally went up there and sang, and you did a great job. And I was like, I love this, because I loved kind of seeing you out of like just because you, even though you're a networker and you walk around the room and you treat everybody really nice, you're very meek. I would say you're definitely not a loud person. So it was nice to see you up there with your shoulders back and looking confident. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was awesome. So
Well,
that
I've done,
that
I've,
memory
I've,
stays with me.
yeah, I've done a couple of, just so you know, before that, last year I did a couple of, national anthems for some
Yeah.
organizations here in Orlando, CFHLA. I did the Patriots Day breakfast. If we have it again, I'll do it again. I sang the national anthem at a couple golf outings before they went out. I sang at the Orange County Sheriff's Association's dinner back in November. So I've had my opportunities to get my other talent, which I took 7 years of professional voice lessons in Chicago. And I mean, I love to sing. I love to
I
sing.
love it.
I have no problem with it.
No, I loved it. I loved it. And I have seen your social media where you posted that you sang the national anthem. I just thought that was so cool, because you wouldn't know that about you. But if I'm a,
Now you do.
I do. Well, of course, I follow you on social media, and I'm a big social media buff person. I mean, I love social media, and you post a lot on social media, which I love. But I think that right now, more than ever, like we're starting to see that a lot of people are really kind of paying attention to our social media platforms. So that
I
was
think
one of
that,
the
well,
reasons.
Zoom has a lot to do with that.
My gosh, I mean, with even lists, be live, Zoom, and then YouTube and everything. I mean, when we're stuck at home, what is there better to do? But you're starting to see a lot of companies even start to
Right.
advertise through social media. So I foresee that the way that we do business is going to be different. When you think about COVID-19 and kind of and this shutdown, right, that we're in, although you are an essential business and you are busy, like, have you guys as a company, have you sat down and you started to like really think about what does it look like for us going forward? Like,
We have right now our guys, our field guys are actually doing social distancing. They're working with disposable rubber gloves, and if they have to wear a mask, they're wearing a mask. Um, but they're keeping their distance even from clients of ours. We have some of our assisted living facilities we take care of now. They have to have their temperature taken before they walk in the building. So there's a lot of, we're doing our part to stop the spread and to keep our guys safe so that they don't get sick.
absolutely. And you and I are working on a project to help with elevator social distancing going forward as soon as the state opens and all of that. So I'm excited to kind of talk about that at
Yes,
some point, because we don't really know what that's going to look like, but at some point we will. When you think of COVID-19, now the beginning of the year, and again, you're a momentum kind of guy. You're I know you're a salesperson, account manager, but to me, those are rapport builders, customer service people. Because of what you do, you're not a salesperson to me. I mean, because you're really
no, I'm
providing.
a trust. I consider myself a trusted advisor.
Yeah, absolutely. You just do it different. It's hard to explain, because even when when I go into another sign company, or when I go to some other service providers, it does feel like they're selling something, and that's not what I get from you. When I get from you, it is that trusted advisor. It is that, like for us, consultative selling. um, we're partners in our clients' businesses, which I think is what really kind of sets us apart, and I think that's what sets you apart. So when you as you go through this COVID-19 debacle, I want to call it debacle, uh, pandemic, right? Who thought that we would have been there? But your momentum is so. It seemed like you were like gaining a ton of momentum. Like this was going to be an awesome year, and I heard you say so many positive things. And you guys are still busy. What's changed? Has anything changed where you're like, nope, nothing?
Not really.
And
We're more busy now than we were before, to be honest with you.
that is so great. I'm so happy to hear that, because that gives
I
hope too, right?
I just think the other thing that I was thinking of some when you were talking about that, but Um, the other thing is when you go back to the trusted advisor real quick, let's say I go in and I can't help them right now, but I always ask, do you have any other needs when I'm there, so that I promote people that I actually network with, and I say, do you need this? Do you need this? Well, why not maybe connect with this person? They, as a vendor or as a customer, appreciate that, because you may not be able to help them today, but they're going to remember that you helped them with something they needed now. So it's kind of like you're building more and more trust by saying you're not just dealing with me. I have a network of people that you can deal with that I know that will take care of you. So
Right.
that's the other thing I bring to the table. And then the personal account management, where I actually go see people and talk to them and say, how are we doing? Do you like our service? That kind of thing. Send them an email, call them, make sure my technician's doing what they said they're going to do. If they need something, they can call me. That's part of the relationship that needs to be there. If it's not, the contract's not worth the paper it's printed on, to be honest with you.
No, absolutely. That's again one of the reasons why we connect, because I see it. I see the genuineness in you as a representative of the business that you work for. I mean, I'm sure the ownership looks at you that way, like a partner in their business, because
They
you
do.
are vested and because you represent them so well, and you represent them at different chambers in the community all the way around. So to get to that, because I'm a networker. I love people. You love people. You're a networker. And I know a lot of people that are like, oh, I just don't have time for networking. I don't have time to go talk to other businesses at a party. That's what they
You
think.
better
Or at
find
a
time.
social. I don't, you're
You
right.
better find you better find time. Let's put it that way.
And I tell people all the time, listen, the reason why you would join a chamber of commerce like the Daytona, Ormond, Holly Hill, the Orlando, Winter Park, Apopka, why you would join them is for an opportunity to have one-on-ones and to work on your business, not just in your business. So let's talk a little
Correct.
bit about networking, because our connection is through the Daytona Regional Chamber of Commerce. So tell me a little bit about how long you've been in that chamber, what it's done for you, and what the value is.
I've been in the chamber for Daytona Chamber for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know that if somebody needs something, and I know that I'm going to get a call because of all of what you just said. But I also promote their business too. And again, we go back to the trusted advisor thing, and being an ambassador and being being visible at the business after hours and the ambassador luncheons. That's big. I mean, that to me, because I'm the only elevator company in the chamber, I actually have a unique thing. But it's not just that chamber. I'm actually in 4 or 5 other chambers that you mentioned, and I'm the only elevator company in those chambers. So guess what? Technically, I should get all the potentially all the business, because who else do they call? Who else do they know? They see me, they know who I am. So it just promotes our business, my business, even more by being involved with those other chambers and making time for them. Yes, it's not easy, but you got to make time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I absolutely love our chamber. You already know. I like to be involved. I like to have my hands in things. I
And
like to.
because you're local, you have a better handle on it. You got to remember, I'm only coming out once or twice a month, maybe 3 times a month, because I live in Davenport. So I'm actually driving to be in the chamber, which I benefit and I also cherish, because that shows I have dedication to be wanting to be part of the group.
Well,
Because you pay your money, and if you don't show up, you're not going to get anything.
I have to say, from because I drove from Apopka my first 2 years of opening
And that's
business.
not close either. That's
No,
not close either.
it was an hour and 15 minutes in traffic on the way in and on the way out every single day, until I decided to sell my house and move to Volusia County. So 2 years of doing that, and the first 2 years of owning the business, that's really hard to do. I have to say, I was not as active then. So I give you kudos for the amount of effort that you give to the Volusia County chambers that you're involved in. Um, and you're not just showing up at a meeting. I mean, you are an ambassador, you are at
Mhm.
events, you are networking, you're active. You're active. You
Mhm.
are active. You're working. You're working.
Yeah,
So I love
yeah.
it.
I mean, I love it. Be honest with you, I love to do that. It's just part of my nature. I love to be in front of people, and I get a real good charge out of being able to help somebody that may be struggling, and this is what you should do, and this is my recommendation, and it's kind of like being a mentor, like you are. So yeah, no, I'm all about that. Trust me.
Absolutely. So with along with the networking, are you involved with like any local nonprofits, or is there a nonprofit that you do take some time for?
I'm involved with my Rotary in Lake Buena Vista, the
Okay.
home of the Mickey Gearspin. We do a lot of service work and a lot of charity work. Even with COVID-19 right now, we're still doing Zoom meetings weekly so we can stay connected. And a lot of my Rotary members have been furloughed, but they're working out of their house. So until they can get back to work. Again, I feel blessed to be able to be out there, but we do a lot of stuff here in Orlando, and I'm in adopt a school programs on a couple locations, one with CFHLA and one with the Volusia County of Hospitality Volusia County Lodging. So I'm an adopt a school partner where I go and visit the school and drop off supplies and maybe judge a science fair and maybe give out gift cards to Publix so people have food. So that's part of my nature. So
Is is there one that's like special to you? Like the Beacon Center is super close to my heart. It's a domestic violence shelter. It resonates with me. I do a lot of advocacy on its part, but I do also do a lot of other stuff. But is there one that you're like, man, this one right here just touches my heart. It really kind of fulfills my need to be to do something and give back.
anytime I see something for anything dealing with preventing cancer. I'm involved with the Arnie's March here in Orlando.
Mhm.
Every March, I give money for that because I have a couple of hotelier friends. One of his daughter actually had cancer, but she got in remission, so she's okay now. But she was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, and they didn't think she was going to survive, and she's lived the last 8 years. So
Wow, that's
but
great.
yeah, I don't have a problem with. I would say American Cancer Society is probably my biggest one.
Your go-to. When you look back at how long have you been with Premiere? I don't think we said how long you've been with them.
4.5 years. It'll be 5 in October.
When you look back at your work history and the companies that you work with, what is the one thing from Premiere Elevators that you just say, this is why I'm here. This is what why I love working for this company.
Because the ownership cares about their clients. They back me up. They encourage me to continue to account manage. And as long as we do that, and as long as we do what we say we're going to do, we're going to be fine. I mean, we're turning a lot of heads with a lot of people, and people are starting to realize, I don't have to deal with certain things, and I can deal with Premiere, and I know I'm going to get what I should be getting. And I'm not going to pay a lot for it either, because pricing wise, we are very competitive against the four majors, and that's a benefit as well. So
That's
especially in this time where people are going to be looking to save money after everybody's reopened, they're going to be looking at their situation, and I'm going to get a lot more opportunities just because of that.
absolutely. What don't we know about John? Right? Well, we know that you sing. We know that you're involved in the community. We know, from a social standpoint, the American Cancer Society. We know you're married. Do you have children?
I have a 30-year-old son, and I have a 24-year-old daughter.
Awesome. What What do you do on your spare time that's not work related? When you
Golf,
get to you golf?
golf.
Okay, you like to golf.
And
And
and the fact that we can do that even through this is nice, because I've been out a couple times. You single cart, but you're still out. In fact, our Rotary golf outing for Lake Buena Vista is coming up in May, and we're still going to have it at Celebration. But it's going to be a single cart, and it's going to be outside lunch, and there's going to be outside silent auction. There's going to be nothing inside, so it's all going to be outdoors. So
That's awesome.
it's going to be a fun event. It's not going to be as many people, but we're hoping to get, anywhere from 40 to 50 people. We've already got four sponsors that are got foursome, so that covers that, and I'm one of the sponsors. But we're hoping to get, and we're going to be putting that out on our the Rotary Lake Buena Vista Facebook page in a week to register for the golf. So it's going to be a fun time. We'll have a chance for people to get out if they can get out to Celebration here, Celebration Golf Club. It's a great time, and we'll have a great day.
Where was the last place that you golfed?
I golfed at Falcons Fire 2 weeks ago.
Nice. So and right before the call, you said I'm going to pull over at Champions Gate. Have you golfed Champions Gate?
Oh yeah, I've golfed the one at Omni a couple times,
Mhm.
not recently, and I've golfed the Champions Gate Country Club, which is on my way home. So yes, but right now they're only allowing members on there. They're not allowing any regular people.
Makes,
Regular people are not members. So I can't go up and just pay and say I want to golf. They won't let me.
makes sense. Makes sense. So as far as Volusia County goes, because we are so we both are well, for me, we serve the Volusia County area. So tell me what you love about Volusia County, because I know like the hashtag Volusia Proud has kind of been out, and we've been really trying to promote this area. What's
I
your
just
favorite
like
thing about
I
Volusia?
like the way everybody comes together, and I think everybody generally cares about everybody, and I think that's important in today's situation. And we're going to have to continue to support everybody and care about, because there's going to be situations that may come up, and we're going to have to just deal with it. And as long as we stick together as a community, not just you guys, but here in Orlando and everywhere else that is getting affected, I think as long as we do that, we'll be fine.
Absolutely, and I think we're gonna see more than ever Volusia County come together. I mean, just from networking in all different areas, there is a very family like business community here. Very again, very kind. I've said a million things. I feel like I say that in every interview. They're so kind, but you come from, like, for me, I came from smaller chambers and some bigger chambers, and even thinking a regional chamber, it was extremely intimidating. I was like, oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god, here I am moving to a whole different community. I've got no sphere of influence here. There's a regional chamber. It's going to take me forever to get connected, but it really wasn't. It was so easy to walk in. It was so easy to
Yeah.
just kind of, I mean, they immediately, when I said I wanted to get connected, this is what I know I'm good at. This is what I need help in. I mean, I immediately they plugged me in, and it's been so seamless. But it is that family environment. I
Yeah.
I I can't explain it other than that, that it is that very, and that's rare for a regional chamber that you can sit down with,
I
the
agree.
president of
I
the chamber.
agree. Totally agree with that. Well, Nancy and her team, they make it happen, and that's important. And that's really one of the reasons why I like the chamber, because of how they operate. And you have to, because if you're busy, I'm busy. If you don't feel you're getting what you should be, then there's no reason to go. I mean, it's kind of a waste of your time.
Absolutely. Have you had a chance to check out their COVID page on the Daytona
I did.
Regional?
It looks
What
really, I mean, it's very informative.
Very informative. I thought, I checked out some other chambers pages too, just to kind of bounce it, because one may be missing something that another isn't, or whatever. And I just thought their page was great. And the thing is, you don't have to be a chamber member to post on that
Yeah.
forum. So they
Yeah,
want all the
I like
business
that. I like that too. I like that too.
that we want to encourage businesses that are not chamber members to go in there and say, hey, this is your status, because we want to support local businesses here. So you are at the end of your day, and I know you're dying to get home soon. Are you done for the day?
I'm ready. I mean, I know you want to talk about a couple other things, so I'll let you keep going. I'm good. I mean, I'm not on a time clock. I'm 5 minutes from home, so it's not like I'm really far away.
I want to know about Janet. That's what I want to know.
Janet and I have been married 35 years. And she is working for Disney. She's working for travel operations on the phone. As of this moment, she's allowed to book packages from June 1st and beyond. So that's a good sign for
Oh,
all the Disney resorts. And hopefully, uh, I think once the mouse reopens up, I think everything will come back to somewhat of a normal thing.
so right now Disney is still closed. She's
Yeah.
able to work from home, so
Yep.
that's great for her. Does she always work from home, or is this a new? Is
Now
this a
she
new?
Now she before this happened, she was working 4 days out of the house, and then when one day she'd have to go to the Disney Reservation Center for one day. But now it's 5 days a week at home.
Well, and it's hopeful when you say that she's booking.
No, she
You
is.
know,
I've been listening to her phone calls. She's been booking packages from June 1st and beyond,
that makes me
into
so
and
happy.
into and into 2021.
That makes me so happy, John. You have no idea. I'm
Oh,
so excited. But
it is. It is. I mean, you gotta understand is that Disney doesn't put things out there unless they know they have a good chance of making them happen. So they wouldn't be allowing her to book packages at their resorts if there was not a great plan in place. So
yeah,
I
it'll be
think everybody's
interesting.
looking to see when they reopen how everything's going to happen. So
It'll be interesting to see what social distancing looks like.
oh, there's going to be that. Trust me, because I've seen posts about Disney in Shanghai. The queue lines are going to be longer because they're going to have social distancing plaques like what you and I are talking about in each line. So they're going to have space between people. They're not going to be crowded together.
So let's talk a little bit about the project that you and I are working on. It's still at
Sure,
the very beginning forms, but it is a good social media. I mean, a good social distancing package.
absolutely.
So when you walk into an elevator, um, give me an average elevator weight. Is it 5,000? You said
No, it's 2,500 pounds.
20. Okay, 2,500 pounds, and that accommodates a certain amount of people. So now,
Right now it does, yes.
right. So with the 6 foot distancing, weight is out the window. It's really what you can fit in the cart at 6 foot distancing. So on an
Correct.
average cart, we're talking about 4 people in an elevator,
Probably.
probably. So does that change anything for you guys, or
No,
not necessarily for you
it just
guys? It's
it just changes the way businesses are going to have to manage their properties and hotels so that the social distancing that they're required to do until such time it changes, um, they're complying with, and people will be more comfortable when they go in. The other thing that I've told people around the block, or not around the block, but around the horn, is that regardless of the social distancing, what you really want to do now is still wipe down your car buttons, your hall buttons, your handrails, your wall panels, your front returns, anything people touch to work on and to be on an elevator, that they disinfect it as much as possible. So we're encouraging all our clients that we have to be able to do that. And if you can put hand sanitizing stations outside each elevator lobby or hallway, that's also a bonus, because then people will be encouraged to use the hand sanitizer. Um, and then when they push the button, they're a little bit more safer. But the more you clean your equipment with disinfectant wipes, the better off you're going to be, and it's going to stop the spread. So any cleaning company that is like Ecolab or anybody that does it for a living, they're going to tell you the same thing. But me as an elevator company, I'm telling all of our clients and anybody I run into that this is good practice now,
oh,
even
absolutely.
before we talk about these social distancing in the future. So
Yeah, and I was chit chatting with Nancy, our president of the chamber, and we talked a little bit about hoping, right? Because we don't know yet what our reopen of our state looks like, that they'll put guidelines in place that says, you are an essential business if you can follow these guidelines of
correct.
cleaning, cleaning counters, maintaining social distancing, um, even wearing a mask. I know for us, my center, we're hoping that we're going to be all back in the office 100%. But I've purchased masks for each one of my staff because they're
Yeah.
going to be required to wear them, and it is more. It's just a safety precaution.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely.
it just is, of course, cleaning the counters. We will install sneeze guards and hand sanitizer at our center just to prevent,
That's a
just to
great idea. That's a great
and
idea.
we're not that many people, but there's definitely we're 4 people inside the shop, inside the center, but then there are definitely times where we have 10 customers standing up front.
Sure you
So
do.
I want to protect my staff because we're all dying to get back into the office. We want to get back into the office safely.
Right.
So, and what do you think? So, what do you think our networking will look like? Have you thought about that?
Well, it's probably not going to be real for probably the first 6 months. It's not going to be real close together. You're going to have to be 6 feet apart, and you're going to have to just wave.
Do you know what the problem is with that? We're
No,
huggers.
oh, I know. We won't be able to do that for a while.
No.
We won't be able to. I don't think so. And I think, once we get back to whatever the new normal is, I don't think it's going to change for a while. Like I said, I think you're looking at 6 months to a year before maybe we go back to somewhat the way it was before. But I think for the first 6 months to a year, I think it's going to be social distancing across the board. I think restaurants are going to have the same issue. They're going to be able to open. In fact, iDrive is opening most of their restaurants because my daughter works for Carrabba's, and they're going to be opening May 1st.
Yeah.
So there's going to be social distancing at all those restaurants on iDrive. You'll be able to go in, but you're not going to be able to sit real close together. So they're not going to be able to get as many people in as they did before. So
Yeah.
that's gonna put a damper on situations, but at least they'll be working. So that's good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely want to open up the economy and just get back to work. We want to do it safely for sure.
Oh yeah.
And is there anything that, like, throughout all of this, now I know you haven't been stuck at home or anything like that, but I feel like there's so many lessons. Like I've heard people just say, it's really made me think about like perspectives, what's important, prioritizing, balance, and all of that. I know for me, you know, being forced to stop, while it's extremely uncomfortable because I like to be on the move, it's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
made me think, I really need balance. Like it can't all be work. It needs to be a good balance of work, play, spiritual, not being able to go into a church, not being, I mean, it makes you think about a lot of things. So is there anything that you, throughout all of this, that you're just like, wow, like this really hit me one day? Or have you had that moment yet where you're like, this has really made me think about, and what is
Oh,
that?
I think it is all about keeping everybody that you love safe. I mean, that's I'm concerned about my health and my wife's health. So, I mean, the more we can keep each other safe, the better off it's going to be, and we're going to have a better chance, you know, getting the virus. So that's to me, that's key. I think family is probably the most important thing that hit me at this point.
Awesome. Well, with that, I will let you go and be with your family. We did about a 40-minute interview. So I'm so thrilled that we got to do this one-on-one, John. I miss networking events and getting a hug from you.
I do too.
Um,
I do
yeah,
too.
like you radiate kindness to me, and I just it that just is a thing for me. And I think the way that you represent your company is so well done, and I hope your ownership sees that as well. But I thank you for everything that you do in the community, everything that you do as an ambassador. I absolutely love serving with you, and I love serving in this community. So I just appreciate your time. And when
Oh,
this
no
is said
problem.
and done, we need to have a one-on-one coffee or lunch or something.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, that
Awesome.
sounds good to me. I love it. I love it. So
Awesome.
thank you.
I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Have
Stay
a good
safe
night.
and
You
say
too.
hello to
Take
Santa
care,
Claus.
Carmen. I will. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Carmen.